Dorothy, are you ready?
Yep.
Carolyn, you may begin.
Hi there, my name is Caroline Groden, and today I will be presenting on the inversion of home amongst fraternity members. In this presentation, I will be covering motives for joining a fraternity, the problem that this inversion of home presents, the effects on members, the effects on others, the effects on colleges and universities, and finally, the limitations of this argument. In order to really understand the effect that this inversion of home has on fraternity members, you first have to understand that men are facing a crisis regarding the American higher education system. According to Conger et al., a team of researchers that study academic achievement, only 43% of enrollees in U.S. four-year and two-year post-secondary institutions were male. Men are not only enrolling in colleges at lower rates, they're also performing compared to their female counterparts. Conger et al. Also found that in the first semester, females earned an average GPA of 2.85 and males 2.67. This is a 0.18 differential. Unfortunately, academic struggles are not the only thing that men are facing in their first semester away from home. Social and emotional problems are also prevalent, according to Renee Garrett, a social welfare researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles. Given this vulnerability, it is incredibly problematic that this is often when rushing takes place for fraternities on campuses across America. This is the Kappa Sigma house that is currently being built on the University of Alabama's campus. It's set to be over 29,000 square feet and will house 40 members. This is a grandiose version of what many of these men left behind. 29,000 square feet is substantially larger than the average American home, and according to the United States Census, the average American family has 2 children, not 40. These fraternities present a dangerous inversion of home, where behaviors that are the exact opposite of what one would expect in a normal home are exhibited, and this is often fatal. 77.5% of a sample of 400 fraternity members experienced some form of hazing, and this often makes news headlines. In the case of Tim Piazza in 2019, he was a freshman attending Pennsylvania State University. As part of a fraternity hazing ritual, he ingested an excessive amount of alcohol, ended up falling down the stairs, and was left to die by his so-called brothers. There are multiple cases that are also like Tim's, and what they all have in common is that all of these men died in fraternity houses, and it was propagated by their brothers. In the short story, My Mother's House by Rachel Codsey Ganache, the author feels a deep and profound connection to the house where generations of her family had lived. The house serves as a symbol of familial ties, connectivity, and safety. In fact, the author ends up returning as an adult to visit it due to its significance. This is what a home is supposed to represent. Fraternity houses represent the exact opposite, as countless young men have lost their lives due to hazing. In addition to hazing, binge drinking is another problem. According to Bruce Bartholow, a professor at the University of Iowa who studies alcohol abuse extensively, those who joined a fraternity were 2 to 3 times as likely to begin drinking during the first year of college than those who did not affiliate with the Greek system. This presents problems for members later in life. At the age of 35, 45% of residential members reported alcohol use disorders, symptoms reflecting mild to severe alcohol use disorders, according to Sean Esteban, a substance use disorder researcher at the University of Michigan. It is not just members of these fraternity houses that are impacted, it is other students on college and university campuses. Members of fraternities were the assailants in a much higher proportion of the assaults than would be expected by their proportions on campus, according to Humphrey et al., a team of researchers who study sexual assault on college and university campuses. This is a significant problem, and why does it occur? That's what Linda Kloff set to research at the University of Michigan. She found that fraternity life is based on a long-standing tradition of subordinating, violating, and using women. The word tradition implies that these younger members are learning from their older brothers that sexual assault is a behavior that is tolerated and will be enabled within fraternity houses. Douglas Downey, a researcher at Ohio State University, has researched extensively the benefits of siblings. He found that you can learn valuable lessons. This appears to be the exact opposite within fraternity houses. Members are learning all of the wrong lessons. This is especially a big problem given that college-aged women already experience rape at rates 4 times higher than the assault rate of all women. Property damage is another problem that fraternities cause, and this is a problem that affects the college and university campuses as a whole. Nearly 9 in every 10 social fraternity male members who reside in fraternity houses reported binge drinking within the past 2 weeks. For context, 35% of males who reported binge drinking also reported property damage. The American home improvement industry is valued at $522.25 billion. This demonstrates that Americans take pride in improving and valuing their homes. Fraternity members, on the other hand, seem to take glee in destroying theirs. According to Eris Boswell, a professor of sociology at Lehigh who conducted research on fraternities and why they're dangerous for women, she found houses in absolutely abysmal conditions: clogged toilets, vomits on the sink, and crass decor. This behavior it is learned in a fraternity that it is acceptable to destroy property in the name of fun, and this extends to the greater campus. Over 50% of administrators from schools with high drinking levels believe that their campuses have a moderate or major problem with alcohol-related property damage. This is because fraternity members are learning that it is okay to damage property in their houses, which then extends to the greater college and university campus. So, given all these problems, why are fraternities still around? Well, unfortunately, colleges and universities directly benefit from fraternities. The majority, 54% of affiliated alumni, say that they donated to their alma mater in the last 10 years, versus just 10% of non-affiliated alumni, according to the Foundation for Fraternal Excellence. Why would you want to get rid of something when you're benefiting economically from it? A study conducted at the University of New Mexico found that Greeks give 75% of all money donated to universities. When you consider that men donate at significantly higher rates compared to women, it is easy to understand why a college would tolerate this. There are also some benefits for members later in life. Fraternity membership raises future income by 35 to 50%. So despite these problems, there are some potential benefits later in life, as many fraternity members are able to develop connections and network within their fraternity. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Okay. What was the time, please?
7 minutes, 17 seconds.
Okay. Carolyn, we'll go right into oral defense, okay? First question for you. How did you select the strategies you used to gather information and conduct your research?
I primarily relied on databases such as JSTOR and EBSCO, and then I also found certain researchers that I really liked that they focused extensively on this topic. Linda Koloff, most of her work, she's from Michigan State, most of her work centers around the topics of fraternities and sexual assaults, so I relied heavily on her work cited.
Okay, thanks so much. Next question for you. What advice would you give to other researchers who consider this topic?
I think that other researchers who study this topic need to analyze more how colleges benefit from fraternities. They cause significant problems for the members themselves, for other students, for the college and university as a whole. I think there needs to be a lot more transparency on how colleges are benefiting economically from these members, as the majority of colleges I looked at did not release anything about what percentage of their donations came from Greek members.
How'd you find that number? Oh, so you never were able to know exactly, you just know how many Greek members tend to give. Like
yes.
You gave a good piece of data. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're done. Thank you.